Like if you're wearing a mask.
Hey, we're live, Canadian wine lovers. Cheers, cheers, cheers. Stop by for Wine Wednesday. We have a Magnum that we just opened from the Similkameen. We're going to chat with winemaker Michael Clark from Clos du Soleil. And we have six, seven other wines open.
6, 7.
Including two 95 pointers. So stay tuned. Woohoo!
Canadian wine lovers, Cardinals Wine Club members, everyone across the country, welcome. It's Wednesday. It's time to crack a bottle of Canadian wine. Sit back, relax, join us because we have some big dogs open tonight. We have some firepower in our glass. This is a Similkameen Valley week with Clos du Soleil. So stay tuned because we have more, much more. We have an interview with Michael Clark, general manager and winemaker at Clos du Soleil in the Similkameen. But first and foremost, Mira Boucher, welcome. Good evening. How are you?
Great. How are you doing?
Oh man, what a day. It's cold. It's wet. It's like great here in the Okanagan. So you know what? It's a big scores type of evening. I got the toque on. I have my sweater on. I feel cozy. But darn that we have some amazing wines in our glasses tonight. And I can't wait to have that chat with Michael Clark because Michael is so knowledgeable. And Michael was so gracious to give us all of his knowledge and everything he got on the Similkameen. And so, I mean, it's really, we have a fantastic offer this week. We're talking Syrah. We're talking about Reserve Red. We have even a Béton. That wine is so geeky and so intriguing, so I can't wait to talk about it. But we have some great wines from the Similkameen Valley. And I know that you, especially you, Mira Boucher, you love the Similkameen. You love talking about the wind beating up the grapes and the tannins and the terroir of the Similkameen. So, yeah, it's a fun week. We have so much to talk about. So tell me what really excites you about the Similkameen. I'll tell you why myself after.
Well, it is that. I mean, I think the love of the Similkameen started when we got out there for the first time and we looked around. We're like, this is National Geographic. And then we were at Charlie Basler and Jesse Basler's winery called
Courcelette, right next door from Clos du Soleil, right?
Yes. And he's like, well, jump in the ATV. We're going to put the cage closed because there might be bears or coyotes up there or wolves. I'm going to bring some bear spray. I'm going to bring a rifle. I'm going to bring cactus claws.
And my question to him is, are you sure it's okay to bring the kids? Because we had the kids with us and Cedric, like the little boy was really little. It's like, are you sure? Oh yeah, no worries. Let's all go up in the quad.
Yeah, it was pretty spectacular. So we got to the top and I mean, it's straight. This is it here. Like it's straight out of National Geographic. It's spectacular. They're growing Pinot Noir up there, like of all things.
Of all things, that's right.
And it works. Like even with the deep freeze of 2024, where pretty much all the grape crop was wiped out across the Okanagan and Similkameen, they only had to replant about 30% of that vineyard up there. Like the vines didn't die. So there's something special about some of these spots for growing grapes. So
yeah, so I mean, where I'm at right now, right at the top of the cliff, if you look right down below on the left-hand side, that's where Clos du Soleil is located.
You
Clos
got
du
it.
Soleil Estate Vineyard is right down below that massive cliff and up the slope where we went, because Courcelette and Clos du Soleil are literally neighbors. And I have that wine here, that Estate Reserve 2020 that we have in feature this week. It's from 100% are from the Estate Vineyard right below the cliff that we're standing right there. So, yeah, right out of National Geographic. I mean, I remember, okay, let's go back to 2022. No, 2023. Is it? No, 2024. Pan Canadian Masterclass hosted at Esther Creek. Okay, we had the World Canadian Wine Gathering in BC, and we organized a bunch of activities for many different people, for wine lovers, for members, but also for the industry. And we had a bunch of winemakers, winery owners who traveled from all over the country. We had Jean-Benoit Deslauriers, winemaker at Benjamin Bridge. We had Lupuglisi Marcel from Bellaterra. We had Ilya Senchuk from Leaning Post. Ryan Schmidt from Vineland. All of these great people were all with us, and we took them vineyard touring in the Similkameen. And I remember that day like if it was yesterday, organized by Jeff Undermark at the Mount Boucherie. They have a beautiful vineyard up there. And I remember Lou. Like he was walking on his own, like if he was like, I don't know, he was in the moment of prayer or something. He was on his own and looking around. And I went to him. I was like, Lou, are you okay? What's going on? And he said to me, Carl, I grew grape in Niagara-on-the-Lake. I can't fucking believe that it's Canada. From there, I'm like, okay, he's good. He's okay. And yeah, so tailgating right there. That's exactly that day here at the Mount Boucherie in the Similkameen.
We're having Lorna's on tonight. Lorna, there you are, having sandwiches. There's Keith Tyers from Closson Chase. We just did a Zoom with him the other day, and that's Ilya Senchuk from Leaning Post, Ryan DeWitt from Rust, Jeff Hundertmark, and Rob Hammersley. Jeff is from Mount Boucherie, winemaker. Rob is winemaker at Black Market in Caledon. So, okay, you get some of my, I don't know what those are, kid shots, but you get the idea, right? There's Lou on the left, the tracksuit. Yeah. Yeah. So it's like, wow, like you could put this right in a big cover of a National Geographic kind of terroir.
Yeah, and I mean, and that's why we're starting with that point today, because I mean the wines from the Similkameen are unique. The wines from the Similkameen taste different. The grapes from the Similkameen grow differently than anywhere else in the Okanagan. It's scorching hot. It's really good during the day. It's really cold during the night. The wind is crazy as shit. And every day it's like that. It's dusty, it's windy, it's hot, it's cold. The the difference is like the biggest in the country. So it makes wines were a little bit more rustic. And you've seen the pictures there. You're seeing the videos. It's limestone. It's been carved by the glacier 50,000 years ago, and the grapes are growing. The roots are digging deep inside rocks and limestone. The wine that are made there comes out with a beautiful stony minerality that you cannot find. Sometimes I get kind of the same type of thing from Summerland or from the Garnet Valley, that rocky mineral soil, but I get it on steroid from the Similkameen. And the tannin structure is very different. The texture of the wine is different. And when you get a vineyard like Clos du Soleil, who's been now operating for, I don't know, over 20 years, 25 years, and with a person like Michael Clark at the helm of the winery, you end up with some amazing type of wine. And I know today our daily email was about the Syrah. And I had a real soft spot for that Syrah because of the personality of that Syrah. It's so unique but not weird. Unique but not very, very different. Just slightly different in terms of finish, in terms of texture, complexity, minerality. So similkameen. And I remember at the Pan Canadian this year, hosted at Swan staff, that very wine that we have here today, which by the way was a gold medal at the Wine Line, 93 points, Carl's Wine Club. It was one of the talk of the show. It was one of the talk of the Pan Canadian. So really cool. I'm super happy that Michael, I knew at the Pan Canadian, the guy said, we need to set some aside because this wine has to go in the pack in December. So yeah, really cool to have that wine. And we have a really fun lineup. So Mira, what are you up to? I can see some comments coming up here. So yeah, what's going on in the chat?
It's great to see everyone. So, I mean, so much to talk about. And we've got the interview with Michael, which is a great interview, by the way. We had to pre-record it a little bit because he's traveling tonight. So that happens sometimes, but it's a pretty fresh recording just from the last couple of days. Every bit of info is totally relevant to what we're doing. So I wanted to say, you said, well, what do I love about the similkameen? And I love that story that we had to get like cactus claws and bear spray and like, you know, a rifle just to be able to go out in the vineyard because it's up on a big cliff and it's all that. But yeah, I think this is the first place I learned that terroir has a role to play, or sorry, that wind has a role to play in terroir. And like you said, I think there's three pieces to that. The wind in the similkameen. Okay, first thing it does is it powers through every evening like a big breeze and it cools everything right down. And that diurnal shift, like you said, like it getting much cooler at night versus very hot during the day, that's amazing for grapes because they get the acidity locked in. They don't get like heavy and bogged down, right? Lisa, nice to see you.
So, Mira, I'll let you finish your point, and after that, I will talk to you about something.
Yeah, so that's one thing is that diurnal shift, you get that acidity, you get that. The second thing is you get like, it literally beats up the grapes a little bit sometimes, the wind does. So you get a different flavor from those grapes.
Different tannin.
Tannins, it makes the skin.
You know why? That thicker, exactly, right? That the physiognomy of the grape, the skin gets thicker because it's beating up to each other all the time.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's the second thing. And the third thing that I didn't know, I don't know, maybe Michael talks about this in the interview, the winemaker at Clos du Soleil, but it makes it much easier to farm organically when you have that amount of wind because it pushes all the pests off the vines. They don't like being out there, you know, exposed to the wind. And there's much less chance of like mildew and
zero humidity. It's dry.
The desert as well. So it's super interesting. So they're known as the organic capital of Canada. I'm pretty sure that everybody in the valley is organic. There's about 14 wineries now down in the similkameen.
Yeah, just around. And I mean, our friend Daniel Bonterman, the Rosé Master, has moved his winery down there. But I mean, Vanessa Vineyard has a really like almost a cult winemaker. Howard Soon is one of the OG of the Okanagan. So Vanessa is there, Courcelette neighbor of Clos du Soleil. So you have some pretty outstanding winemakers who are moving their operation out there because it's not virgin land, but I mean, there's more space out there. There's more place for bigger farm. It's easier to farm in a sense, organically. And I mean, Cabernet Sauvignon is such a star out there. And to my opinion, Syrah is an absolute rock star in there. And I'm so glad that Michael, like, they were determined to replant Syrah. Because one thing, the similkameen, like, we lost 95% of our crop in 2024 in the Okanagan. In the Similkameen, it was not 99%. It was 100%. There was not one berry barely who grew in the Similkameen in the 2024. But not only that, they lost their entire crop in 2022 as well, in 2023 as well. So 2 years in a row, 23 and 24, there was no grapes growing in the Similkameen. That's crazy. They survived that. And now they're coming back with a vengeance. And they're so excited to showcase their wine in the club like ours, in Carl's Wine Club, because if he said it feels like we were dead for 2 years. And now they're so happy. They have a good crop this year. It was a good vintage. And now they're putting out some cool stuff. Some cool stuff are ready to go. And we have a few really cool things that it's not available anywhere. And I know for some people, and don't take me wrong on that, but for some people, size does matters. Yeah, it does. Size does matter. And Mira, if you want to pull the big thing right next to you, we'll show what we have here. There you go.
Magnum.
There you go.
I love magnums, and this magnum really understood the assignment, because there's some magnums, I don't know how they make the bottles, but they don't look so big. And I'm like, that's the whole point of a magnum, is for it to feel like majestic and large and like exciting. And so this one is like a Bordeaux style bottle. So it's like longer and it just feels very.
So if you want to bring the label a little closer from the camera so we can see. So that's Signature 2018. Okay. So Signature 2018. This has been gone for a while. And Michael had 10 of these magnums at the stock somewhere in the warehouse. And he's like, you know what? If you guys want them, I'm happy to give it to you. So exclusive Carl's Wine Club, special pricing. We have a 2018 Magnums. Perfect. Absolutely perfect for the holiday season. This is a top-notch wine. So we're tasting it for the first time. And while we were getting ready, I had my first sip. And I'm like, yes. And 2018 was such a small crop in the Similkameen that they didn't have zero regular bottle available, not even one for me to taste and do my tasting notes. So I had to wait for today to crack open the Magnum. And not a joke, we crack open the Magnum so we can finally score our wine. So I just tasted it. And there's always that moment of stress or anxiety a little bit. That is it going to be good? Is it going to be good? And I'm like, Mira, don't worry. Like, Clos du Soleil makes some outstanding wines. I'm sure it's going to be good. And I just had my first sip. And Mira, if you want to check the M, that's the one. So
that's the Magnum. M for Mira, M for Magnum.
Yeah, exactly. So that's the 2018. This wine is fresh. This wine displays beautiful herbaceousness, savoriness. There's some dark, ripe red fruit coming out of this. Little charcoal-like minerality coming out from the Cabernet Sauvignon. There's that long, spicy, there's white pepper lingering for a rich, bold. I like the tannin. The tannin are still fresh and red, like there's nothing green into that really beautiful Bordeaux blend. So Mira, you are the greatest researchers of history of internet. And if you can, you are. If you can give me the blend, please, the blend of the 2018 Signature, I would like to break that down.
Covered. I'm going to put it in the chat, the Clos du Soleil link, because I do believe the Magnum, we did get the blend for it. So here we go. I'm just getting it out for us. Here it is.
There's a beautiful richness. Beautiful richness in that wine. Ripe, dark fruit. Yeah, charcoal, tobacco, blackberry, blackcurrant. Yeah, so that's really Bordeaux-like. And I'm talking about texture here because on the other wine that we have is the 2020 Reserve Estate Reserve, which is the Bordeaux blend, but exclusively from the 10 acre at the winery. They own 2 vineyards, or they pull fruit from 4 different vineyards in the Similkameen. So Signature is from the best barrel from all of their 4 vineyards in the Similkameen. And Estate Reserve is from specifically home vineyard at the winery. That's the biggest difference here. But obviously, we have 2 different vintage and different format. But this is so interesting to taste 2 side by side. So, Mira, you can do the ER alongside the M, and you see that Similkameen terroir coming out in both of them. That stony minerality. I don't know. There's a big smile coming on your side here.
Well, because Daryl's very fast with his mental math. I mean, so I put the blend here, 42 for the Signature, for the Magnum we just opened, the 2018 Clos du Soleil Signature, 42 Merlot, 32 Cab Sauv, 19 Cab Franc, 5 Malbec, 2 Petit Verdot, and he said it's 81% perfect because, as we know, Daryl is not the biggest wrong. I'm just impressed with the fast math skills. He's like a human calculator, and he's having pretty nice wine at the same time. So it's quite impressive, you know.
What is he drinking tonight?
Said Leaning Post 21 Syrah Kizan Vineyard.
There you go. So I want you to do an exercise for me, Mira. I want you to taste M and ER side by side, okay? And I want you to pay attention on the very finish of this wine.
Of which one?
Both. That's the exercise.
Okay. The Estate Red is such a nice, rich.
Well, I mean, that's the texture. That's textural. It's bold. It's powerful. There's a lifted acidity, who doesn't make it like flabby. But do you notice that stony minerality and that white pepper, who is identical on both wine?
Yes, that's the Similkameen, isn't it?
That's the Similkameen in a nutshell. If I had some leftover in a Syrah, I would do the same thing, but sorry, guys, Syrah didn't survive the weekend. There's one thing with the wine that we really lose our mind on. They're usually, that's the same thing with...
they disappear and we don't even realize it. We're
that's the same thing with that 95 points here. The bottle is empty. I don't know why, but yeah. I would like to pretend that we had a bunch of people over, but it's not the case. But the exercise.
Carl doesn't drink, so hi.
But no, the exercise was the finish. I wanted you to pay attention on the finish. There's difference on the mid palate in these 2 wines. There's a difference. I think Signature has more savoriness. Signature has a little bit more earthiness. A little bit old world on the 18 Magnum. The Estate Reserve, it's richer. It's more manly. It's more powerful. It's a little heavier. That's the Estate Red. That's more new.
The Estate Red is the one they're giving us $10+ off per bottle.
Exactly. So special member price on that.
Yeah, which is pretty awesome because it's a perfect holiday type of red, you know, for gifting.
Big and juicy.
Yeah, for gifting, but also for meals and stuff. It's perfect. So I got to say, though, if I compare the 2, the Magnum for me wins out. There's just, I don't know, maybe it's just because it's in a Magnum, so it hasn't... it doesn't age as quickly in a Magnum, so whatever, but it just feels so incredibly vibrant.
It is. And this is noticeable for me. It's the vibrancy of Signature compared to which is 2 years older than Estate Reserve, the vibrancy, the energy of the 18 Magnum signature is astonishing. It's incredible. It's so cool to experience that right now. I mean, 2020 Estate Reserve, I think it's all in texture and boldness, but not 18 signature is just so the tannin to me that I like my tannin pulls a bit. Like I like to feel the tannin, and that's give it to me on steroid. This will last forever. There's a bright acidity. So yeah, really cool. Really cool. So it's time to score it.
Yes,
it's time to score it. That's
please. Now we have 2 95-point wines open. We'll get to those in a quick second. So that's my next step is because I really like it. I'm going to taste it side by side, the 95 pointers. You tell me what you think of this one, the Magnum.
If I do 93 plus, am I underscoring it? I'm bang on 93.
95. Now the 95 we've had open for what, 1 or 2 days?
Yesterday morning.
Okay. But it's a back vintage. It's a 2015.
2015.
Going in the advent calendar for those of you.
We're not saying from who, but it's a Cab Sauv, 100% Cab Sauv, 2015 vintage that I rated. I don't know, Mira has a picture of my score at the winery yesterday, and my like, ding.
I can't show the pictures because I might give away where it's at. So I don't want to spoil the surprise for those of you that ordered the advent calendar and you're opening bottles with us over the holidays as a surprise. I don't want to spoil it, but
right. So you see,
it's 100% Cab Sauv, and Carl gave it 95 points. And I have his reaction on camera. I'm going to play it the night we reveal which wine it is.
I just did part of my my top 10 wine of the year, and it went right straight there under the Bachelor Person Norchard and the Benjamin Bridge 08. It just went straight there. I was like, that's where it's going. I have 2 wines in front of me right now that is going on the top 10 wine of the year. So a pretty cool night here at the office. I'll tell you just one thing.
We have the Cab Sauv, which we can't tell you who it's from because it's in the advent calendar. So you'll just have to hang tight and hear that surprise a little later. I'm not. So
Cab Sauv, 2015, 95 points. That's the 3 thing that I can tell you right now.
And it's BC Winery. Daryl is very fast on this. I can almost picture Daryl like last year. He's holding up the bottles. He's seeing how heavy they are because, you can tell like what kind of bottle they're in and what kind of wine it might be. So, yeah, there you go.
Daryl, I'm so happy that you pulled the trigger and you got the advent calendar. This year experience would not have been the same without you tuning in on the 12 lives back to back.
I have an idea. So we are doing the nightly prizes and the lives this year starting December 14th, just like last year. And I wonder if when you tune in, like if there's some way to like give a prize to the first person to guess the wine, but it's not really fair because people have it and they've opened it. So, okay. Yes. Oh, so Sandy got the advent calendar. I hope she'll share with you, Daryl.
I love it. I love it. So I think we have to get into the interview. First and foremost, it's a birthday day here at the Bouchers. So we're celebrating our oldest son birthday. So a special night coming up after. So we need to get to that. We have an outstanding interview. I want to talk about one of the one. Okay, we talk about the Magnum now, 93 plus points, fantastic freshness. We just talked about the Estate Reserve. I talk about the Syrah, which was one of the talk of the Pan Canadian. I want to talk about the Béton. Béton, we have only 3 cases available. It's one of the bonus options. It is something really fucking cool.
Very fun, very delicious. Yeah.
52% Cab Sauv, 48% Cab Franc, no oak at all, 100% concrete. I was expecting something lean, something astringent, something a little bit austere. I got something creamy, bold, super graphite, mineral driven, and great fruit ripeness. Sweet fruit ripeness, and it was so cool. So I have to tell you about my weekend. I went out this weekend in Revelstoke for a hockey tournament with the youngest, with the little Goldie. And now when I go, I take the kids on a hockey tournament. Mira always packed 2 boxes of glasses, a box of wine, and she said, "You need to make sure that the parents taste the wine. We never know, they might sign up for the club." And it makes people taste the wines. So there you go. I ended up Saturday night with a bunch of hockey parents in our room, and I had Celestial, which is the baby signature, so the value Bordeaux blend from Clos du Soleil, which was the crowd pleaser. All of the moms were all over Celestial. Celestial, by the way, is the Clos du Soleil wine that we poured at the welcome reception at Bellaterra this year at the Pan Canadian. We had 22 wines served in the back at Bellaterra, and Celestial was poured that night, which was one of the crowd favorite as well. No wonder why this little Bordeaux blend is such a great value at $29 in beautiful quality. So that was the crowd favorite in the hotel room. The funny story is I had a guy, he's an assistant coach, and he's like, "Carl, this one is really good, but what about this?" He said, "There's something. I love that wine. I don't know what it is." And he's pointing at Béton. And so it's rare that someone started to geek out on that because in my tasting note, that's what I told Mira. It's a geeky wine. It's super geeky. It's very different, but so fucking good. And I kept digging into it all like on Thursday, Friday last week. And I was trying to figure that darn wine out. And so geeky. And it ended up that guy is a lawyer, but he did his undergrad as a somm. And that told me that I was like, you know what? People who have a good knowledge in wine can point that wine into a lineup. There was 12 wines open, and he was just like all over that wine. And there was another guy who collects wine, and he told me later, he said, "This one is by far my favorite." And he was pointing out at Béton. So yeah, really cool story how more you dig into your wine journey, your wine experience, you get attracted by some stuff were a little different, and Béton really hit the spot. Really, really hit the spot. So much more cerebral, much more wine, much like you think about it, but it's very fun. So yeah, that's the story about the Béton. Mira, I know I'm just like talking way too much, and I so much more that I want to talk about because we have Closson cheese that we had an incredible, probably the best ever Zoom tasting that I've done. It was so personal. It was so personable. It was the energy was so amazing. The wine that we taste were so fantastic, but to have Keith Dyer from Closson Chase spending almost 2 hours sharing his passion and his knowledge, it was fantastic. What was your take on the Closson Chase Zoom tasting last week?
Special. And we owe a big thanks to Lisa and Jared. Lisa's on tonight. Maybe Jared.
Absolutely.
Too. It was their idea. They were like, we should get Keith Dyers to walk us through some of their new releases. If you go to their website right now, Closson Chase from Prince Edward County, they only have like 5 wines on the website right now because they're sold out. But they gave us some pre-releases. And so everybody had the chance to order a 3-pack of newer pre-releases. We did the tasting, but of course, Keith included a bunch of other wines in Carl's box, which he tasted on the Zoom and which we now have access to. And we roped him into giving us some more wines from his private kind of cellar collection at the winery, back vintages and stuff. So that's pretty cool. I'll drop the link in the comments here if you're curious about that one.
I mean, so 2017 that it's like one case of each. Like we made 3 packs of Churchside Chardonnay and Pinot Noir, which they're 12 mini packs. That's it. That's all for the Chardonnay. It's 27, a bottle of 17, a bottle of 2019, which is an incredible vintage for Chardonnay. So 17, 19, and 23. And for the Pinot, it's 17, 2020, and 2023. So these mini 3 packs, it's coming straight out of Keith's cellar. So very cool. And also, the 95 points, top 5 wine of the year of the South Clos Pinot Noir 2023. This wine will not be released until June 2026. Keith is going to send it to our members right away. You guys are going to be the only one in Canada to have that in your cellar. The 2023 South Clos at $70 is
I think it's
in your...
75. We didn't know the price. So Daryl, Jim, maybe one other person, you guys jumped on that one the other day when we had the price from 3 years ago.
I'm losing my shirt on that one. Yeah.
You did a heck of a deal. So it's now updated. We heard back from Keith. He said it's $75 a bottle.
But the thing is, there's only
great value.
Yeah, well, only 150 cases made. This wine will never hit the market. This wine is going to their wine club for 1 round. After that, it's saved at the tasting room, and when it's gone, it's gone. Keith, the impression that I had and the feeling that I have with the South Clos 23, it's the wine that Closson has ever made. The crown jewel. To my impression, when I tasted that, I'm like, oh my God, there's no other wine. Closson are making some outstanding wines for years. That wine, I think that's the very best. And I told Mira, I believe that it's as good or even better than any of the Bachelor 23 that was released. This wine is absolutely jaw-dropping good. And yeah, that's why that the bottle is empty. So
absolutely. All right.
The link is in
the interview. Yes, I put the link in the chat if you guys want to listen to the interview and see the Clos du Soleil wines and also the Closson Chase wines, which is the one we were just talking about with the 95-point Pinot. The back vintages that
17, 19, 20, yeah. And coming out of that tasting on Zoom, we've decided as a group that we're going to do the Thursday the Thursday tasting club, or whatever we want to call it. Once a month starting in January, we're going to do our once a month on a Thursday. We're going to invite a winemaker. We're going to taste 3 wines from them, and we're going to do that again because it was so freaking amazing. So we started to brainstorm with our little group here. I think there was 15 of us. Hey, maybe it's going to increase. Maybe we're going to have more people in. But oh my God, how cool it was. And if every time we got some wine so special like that coming out of it, and some stories like Keith shared with us, oh man, I'm all over that. It's so freaking cool. So we have some ideas here for who's next in January. And yeah, we're going to build that little tasting club here together. So it's really, really exciting. Again, a big thank you to Jared and Lisa to revive that COVID thing. And it was so cool at the beginning, and it gets so boring so quickly. And like, you know what? That's enough of that. And now, when you have that just tells me when you have the right people tuning in together, I felt as much energy on that screen that we do in person. It was very special.
Very cool. Very cool. Thank you, guys. That was so much fun. So without further ado, let's hear from Michael Clark, winemaker at Clos du Soleil, all about the Similkameen, all about Clos du Soleil Winery. That's our featured winery this week that we've been sending emails about. Michael was formally trained in theoretical physics, and then he was an investment manager in Canada and all over the world. And while he was traveling as an investment manager, he started dreaming about owning a winery one day. So now he is the winemaker and part owner at Clos du Soleil. A pretty cool story. And he definitely has a lot of knowledge. He approaches it with that theoretical physics background. So very into the details. Isn't that right? Yeah, there you go. So let's hear from Michael.
Here we go. So we are with Michael Clark, the general manager, winemaker at Clos du Soleil in the Similkameen Valley. Michael, welcome and thank you for being with us. Such an exciting week here at Carl's Wine Club featuring your wine at Clos du Soleil. So how are you doing, Michael?
I'm doing very well, and we always love being part of your wine club. So thank you, Carl.
Well, thanks for being here. I mean, now harvest is over. Now the work, well, yeah, kind of. Okay, let's talk about it a little bit. But the harvest is almost over. The work is in the cellar right now. How about you tell us a little bit what are you up to?
Yeah, so I'm standing in the Clos du Soleil cellar right now, as you can see. You're right. We finished the actual picking of the grapes in the last week or two. But they're all still fermenting, especially the late ripening Bordeaux reds that we are really well known for here at Clos du Soleil. So the tanks behind me and many that you can't see are full of those red grape varieties, things like Malbec and Cabernet Sauvignon that are still fermenting and will be pressed in the coming week.
That is really, really exciting. How's the 2025 vintage for you in the Similkameen Valley?
It's been great, and to be honest, as you well know, we really have needed this. We, meaning the whole industry. It's been a tough few years for the industry because of the freezes that we've had, but 2025 was great in terms of quantity and great in terms of quality. The wines that we have in tank are looking fantastic, and I'm really excited to be sharing them with people eventually.
Just like as you mentioned, I think we all needed it. That's the general echo that I get from everyone. Well, thank you. And you know what? I think we all deserved it. So it changes the narrative too. It changes the vibe around the Okanagan. I think we see like many more smiley people and a sense of relief, I would say.
Oh yeah, we all do this job because we're passionate about it. Both myself and the whole team here at Clos du Soleil, and we love making wine and we love sharing wine with people. And so when you can't make wine, you feel like that happiness is taken from you. Well, the happiness is back this year. So
yeah, smile and happiness, that's for sure. Let's start. There's a few things I want to talk to you, Michael. I know you have a really busy week and all that, but Let's start with Clos du Soleil as a winery. When it started and how it started, which purpose in mind when Clos du Soleil came on board. Now, a while ago, I would say.
Yes. So we started in 2006, so almost 20 years. I think that counts as a while.
I know, right? That's a nice number coming up.
It is a big number coming up. So as you know, we're in the Similkameen Valley, just outside the town of Carameus, and the vision for the winery back in 2006 is really the same vision we have today. The idea was to grow wines that really speak about what is unique about the Similkameen Valley. Terroir-driven wines, minimal interventionist wines. It's what we did back then, and it's still what we do today. And we primarily use Bordeaux varieties to be able to express that sense of place through our wines. Out in the vineyards, some of which are behind me, we use certified organic viticulture and biodynamic viticulture. And then my job as winemaker is really to do as little as possible here in the cellar, because if we've grown those grapes correctly, all of the beauty's in the grape already, and our job is just to protect that.
Absolutely, and let the terroir speak. I will get back to the specific terroir that you guys are sitting on in a few seconds. But so Clos du Soleil, over the year, how many acreage of grapes do you guys have right now planted?
Yeah, we've grown over the years as our business has grown. When we first started, we were only producing a few hundred cases of wine, and we had one property. It's actually the property I'm standing on right now. Fast forward to today, We have a total of 5 different vineyards, all in aggregate. It's around 40 acres planted with vines. And we were producing 8,000 to 9,000 cases of wine before the freeze. Now it's dropped off a little bit, but very soon we'll be back to that level again.
So, and in terms of, okay, it's Bordeaux varietals mostly. What is the king grape? Let's say the grape that you guys say that's what we do here at Clos du Soleil. Is there like a little bit more like at the Cab Sauv? Because I've been tasting many different grapes, Okanagan versus Similk. I mean, for me, it's Cabernet Sauvignon comes back so very often from the Similkameen with the purity and the sense of place. So what is your key grape that you guys have on your portfolio?
Yeah, I completely agree with you. I think Cabernet Sauvignon, especially from our estate vineyard, the one I'm on now, which is our oldest vineyard, is really unique and offers a quality that is tough to find in BC with Cabernet Sauvignon. So I do think that that is a special variety. That being said, we specialize in Bordeaux blends here, of course. So blends of Cabernet Sauvignon with Cab Franc and Malbec and Petit Verdot and Merlot. And so I love people to really focus on getting the sense of place as opposed to focusing on variety. But, you know, Cabernet Sauvignon from a lot of the growing regions in BC that can grow it can sometimes be a little bit rustic. It's tough to get finesse in the tannin structure. Whereas here on the upper bench in the Similkameen, and I would say particularly the Carameos part of the upper bench, where the climate is slightly more moderate than where you head towards Coston, tends to produce this Cabernet Sauvignon with this very fine-grained tannins, the sense of elegance that is so important to everything we do at Clos du Soleil, and this perfumed nose. Often there's a floral element to it. To me, that really brings out the beauty of Cabernet Sauvignon so that it's something ethereal as opposed to rustic. I love it. You can probably tell.
Absolutely, absolutely. I think I knew a little bit of the answer of my question, but but there's also another absolutely. There's also another grape though that it's been the troubled child of the South Okanagan for many years, and since the frost of the devastating frost of the 2024, Syrah has been almost completely, not completely, but we've seen a lot of places are taking it out. They're replanting, but they're replanting something different. I'm hearing a lot of Cabernet Franc will replace Syrah in the next few years. What was the decision made here at Clos du Soleil? Because you guys have been making some tremendous Syrah at Clos du Soleil. I'm a big fan. We took the 2022 Syrah to the Pan-Canadian Masterclass earlier this year, which was one of the talk of this national tasting. So what's going on with Syrah down in the Similkameen at Clos du Soleil?
I love Syrah, which is exactly why we make Syrah. I mean, I love Syrah in general, but I love Similkameen Syrah. As a winemaker, what you want to do is produce a wine that is unique and going to be different than anything else anywhere in the world. And Similkameen Syrah is one of those examples. It doesn't taste like Australian Shiraz. It doesn't taste like French Syrah, but it also does not taste like South Okanagan Syrah.
It doesn't taste like Golden Mile Syrah. That is like, to me, it's crazy because and I did that multiple times. Similkameen Golden Miles, and oh my God, the difference is crazy.
Exactly, and that's what makes wine wonderful, and that's what winemakers love, and I love it. So that's why, even as a Bordeaux specialist, we've been producing a Syrah for the last 10 years, and I believe so passionately in it. And so that's the other answer to your question about the future of Syrah here. We will be producing a Syrah well into the future, I'm happy to tell you. It was damaged by the cold. As you know, it's a more sensitive variety, but we have made the decision to replant it and to keep producing it forever. So we will always.
Oh my God, that makes me happy. That makes me happy. I love Cabernet Franc, but that's going to be enough Cab Franc for the next 10 years. I'm happy to hear that we're going to have a safe source of Syrah with you guys. If Mother Nature definitely can cooperate a little bit and be a little bit more gentle with us.
I hope so. I hope so.
Now let's move on from the Clos du Soleil to the Similkameen Valley specifically. We just get back from Toronto to a big event with with collectors from around the world at the One Drop Foundation with the Cirque du Soleil, l'Académie du Vin. There was 250 international wine collectors in the room. The Similkameen wine stood out for a specific reason because they're different. Like literally, alongside wines from the South Okanagan, alongside wines from different other regions from the Similkameen is very different. Tell us a little bit what you guys will try to showcase in terms of Similkameen terroir.
Yes, I feel so lucky to be working in this valley because it is this really unique place. First of all, for visitors who come and see us here, it's gorgeous.
Breathtaking views.
The word, yes. But of course, that also translates into the wine itself. For people who haven't been here, it's a very narrow valley with very steep mountainsides on each side. That, first of all, makes our valley a bit of a wind tunnel. So there are these very strong winds that pick up almost every single day and move masses of cold air into the valley. That makes it a no-brainer to be growing organically here. In fact, as I'm sure you know, the Similkameen is the organic farming capital of Canada. And as I mentioned, all of our vineyards are certified organic. In addition to that, those mountains are, of course, eroding year after year after year, and it's chunks of rock that are breaking off those mountainsides that form our soils. So we have these very, very rocky soils known as stem winder soils, very mineral rich, a lot of limestone in there as well. It makes it very difficult for farming here, but it forces the vines to send their roots deep down through those rocks. That's very different than a lot of the South Okanagan. And so when you're tasting wines from the Similkameen mine or anybody else's, in part you're tasting those rocky soils.
Yeah, and it's funny because when you let's see the Golden Miles or the Golden Mile or right across the highway there, I mean, there's more sandy soil as well. So like very, very, very different flavor profile, definitely. And it shows, especially in those red blends, where you get a little bit more of that floral note coming up, that chalky finish coming out. There's almost like a salinity also, and the spicy note, very complex type of flavor definitions as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I think this valley really lends itself to terroir expression. I mean, our winemaking and our viticulture is centered around that, but the land itself just has so much uniqueness to express itself through those wines. All those notes you mentioned, that minerality to me, often like a graphite note, like pencil lead, is a real marker of the Similkameen. You also tend to get, while you get ripe fruit character like the South Okanagan, you get more sort of savory and herbal type notes in the Similkameen as well. What it means is that you get wines with a huge amount of interest. There are a lot of layers of flavors to them.
Absolutely. And one thing that I would like to add in terms of the Similkameen terroir is the diurnal shift, the diurnal difference between the very, very hot temperature during daytime and the dramatic drop of degrees at night. So, and this creates something very unique and that all winemaker or grape grower dreams to have. And it's that diurnal shift. Ask our people from California who now are fighting. They don't have that anymore. So that's the loss of acidity level in their wine. So can you talk a little bit about that, Michael?
Yes. So the Similkameen is all about that huge temperature shift. The Okanagan has that to a great extent as well, which is why the Okanagan can produce really ripe but still fresh wines. But we're like that, but on steroids, really.
Exactly.
One, we don't have large bodies of water here. We just have a small river. So you don't have the moderating influence of a large body of water, which means you have far more dramatic temperature shifts here. And then in addition, there are those winds I mentioned. So we tend to have the heat units, the temperature of the South Okanagan, maybe like Oliver. But when you have this high wind pick up in the afternoon and move in masses of air from the Princeton direction, it just drops the temperature dramatically. And so between those different elements, you have these huge temperature swings. So we get the super ripe fruit, but the really pronounced acidity, which means that the wines are particularly food friendly, they're particularly fresh, and particularly ageable as well, which is something we really pride ourselves on at Clos du Soleil, that our wines are reds, but also our whites, in fact, can age for many years and really develop in the bottle.
Yeah, they're cellar treasure. That is for sure. So that's 2 points that I really wanted to highlight. That's the dino shift and also the wind of the similkameen. I think if you ask me to highlight 2 of the elements of the climate who formed that terroir definition, that's the 2 that I will highlight. Is it what you am I hitting on the point here?
Absolutely, those 2 plus those rocky soils I was talking about.
There you go. There you go. So that's the similkameen in a nutshell. That is the Clos du Soleil in a nutshell. Now, quickly, because we talk about that disastrous 2024 frost a lot in the last couple of years, and I don't want to beat the dead horse, but I mean, we're featuring 2 wines here in the Discovery Pack, which are very well worth it. Beautiful wines. They're a great expression of what you guys could do in 2024, because you guys didn't have a ton of option. If you wanted to keep your people employed, if you want to keep the door open and the winery, the wheel keeps spinning, there was not a ton of option. That what you guys came up, you found some partners down in the States, and we are featuring this week the Clos du Soleil Washington State Series Rosé and the Washington State Series Chardonnay. So can we talk quickly about these 2 wines and also the impact? I want to talk more about the impact of that event than the wines, but also a little bit, let's touch on the wine a little bit.
For sure, yeah. So unfortunately, it had a huge impact here in the Similkameen. In fact, there were 2 back-to-back freezes, one year after the other. December 2022, which didn't hit all of BC, but was devastating here in the Similkameen. And then the January 2024 freeze, which really hit everywhere in BC. Because of those 2 freezes at Clos du Soleil and all the other wineries here in the Similkameen, we had no grapes at all for 2 years in a row. So it was really, really tough. As a result, one single year, it was only 2024, not before and not after, we did source grapes from Washington State. It's effectively the same terroir, it's just the southern extension of the valley we're in here. And I have to say, it was a great experience. It was a real partnership with the growers down there. We identified them the winter before and identified the parcels where we wanted them to grow grapes for us. We specified how we wanted the viticulture managed, and they really worked hand in hand with us. And then, of course, the wines themselves were all made here in the space right behind me by our team of employees, Canadian team at our Canadian winery here in the Similkameen. I hope I don't ever have to do it again, but I have to say the wines are fantastic, and I'm really pleased with how they turned out.
Yeah, so you guys had a little leg up, right? Because with the trouble you had in the 2022 frost, you already had to identify exactly where you wanted to go. So it was not like a last minute decision to scramble and try to save whatever you can. No, you had the plan well in advance, and you were ready to pounce when you got the okay and the green light to go, right?
Yeah, absolutely. That planning, so that it's a partnership. It's not just buying some juice or buying some grapes. A partnership with the grower is what really brought some value added to the whole proposition.
And you guys went to Yakima. Was it the source? More likely, most likely.
Yes, yeah. For the two wines that are being featured in your club, the Rosé and the Chardonnay, both are from Yakima Valley, from an excellent grower just outside of Sunnyside, Washington. The Rosé is actually made from 100% Sangiovese. I was really excited to work with that variety. It's not one that we see as much here in BC, and it was new for Clos du Soleil. And while it was new and produced a delicious rosé, actually the reason that I selected those grapes were many Clos du Soleil fans will know that traditionally we have produced a rosé from Malbec at Clos du Soleil. And while Malbec and Sangiovese are very different varieties, as a rosé, there are actually a lot of similarities. And so I knew that the customers who really liked our Malbec rosé would appreciate the Sangiovese rosé.
That's awesome. It's like clean. I mean, it's 100% stainless steel. There's no wood. There's no barrel taste. There's no barrel added. So I love that. I really like the finish of that. I think there's a nice lingering. There's a bright acidity in that wine. So no need to be worried about is it food friendly or not. We're heading to the holiday season, and that's why I'm excited about that, because this, with turkey and stuffing and everything, all of the holiday celebration, this is the perfect wine pairing there. So I'm really excited about that.
Perfect turkey wine, absolutely.
Absolutely. And the Chardonnay, tell us a little bit about the Chardonnay. Which style of Chard did you try to produce with the fruit you got from Yakima?
Yeah, I'm really excited to share that wine with people, because the Chardonnay has this concentration and weight and length that I'm just really pleased with. In terms of the wine making, it was whole cluster pressed and then fermented in French oak puncheons, which examples are actually right behind me. This is a puncheon, so that's basically like a larger than normal barrel. It's 500 liters. So it goes into the puncheon as juice and it ferments in there. And then we age it on the lees, which of course is the yeast itself when it settles to the bottom after fermentation. By aging it on the lees, it gives the wine this creamy, round mouthfeel. I love working with lees, and we do that a lot here at Clos du Soleil. What it didn't have is any malolactic fermentation. And so what that means for the customer is it retains this really bright, fresh acidity in the wine, which again is very much in the Clos du Soleil style.
Wonderful wine. I can't wait to disclose the scores for these wines, and it's a very exciting 2 of the 6 bottles. Now let's talk quickly about the cream of the crop. I mean, we're going to feature the Celestial, which is your value proposition red that I really love. I think it's like this. If there's a wine from the Okanagan who over-deliver year in and year out its price point, it's Celestial. We're featuring here the 2022, which was a silver medal at the Wine Line. So this is the baby signature. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Designed to over deliver, because it's the same grape sources, same wine making, same everything as our flagship wines, which are much more expensive. But we're crafting a wine that is soft and lush and really approachable, so it delivers a ton of value.
Ton of value. Like I mentioned, I think I gave it a 93 points back this summer at the Pan Canadian. That's the Syrah. So that's one of the classic of the Similkameen. I know, I dear to your heart. That's one of the one that I had to beg a little bit to have more, but thank you very much to allowing us to spread that wine across the country. what I have here, this is a very rare. We don't have a lot of that available because you don't have a lot available in your cellar as well. It's the Béton. So I want to talk for a second about the Béton because it's a completely different style of wine. It's something that you do on a yearly basis with a different winemaking process. Can you please tell us about Béton?
Yes, so well, as you will well know, béton is the word in French for concrete. So at Clos du Soleil, all of our reds, including all of the ones that are being offered through your club, are fermented in concrete tanks, which in fact we imported from France, and then aged in 100% French oak barrels, which are over there for me. That's the normal process. But for béton, we ferment in concrete and then we also age in concrete. So it never goes to oak barrel, hence the name Béton concrete. This particular vintage of Béton, which is the 2022 vintage, is a blend of Cabernet Sauvignon and Cabernet Franc. And I just love the expression of those varieties through Béton. It's a very different expression. I would say it's a little less polished, perhaps, than the oak aged version, but it has this lovely mouthfeel, nice elegance, but still a bit of grip to the tannins, and this really rich fruit expression. I think people would love it. We made it in very limited quantities. It's only for the Clos du Soleil Wine Club, but I was able to save a little bit for Carl's Wine Club as well.
We're very grateful to have this one available in very limited quantity. So thank you for that. I'm really excited. Now, let's talk about the estate reserve. Okay, we're in the 2020 vintage here. So a wine is a grandiose wine. This wine is one of the best hidden gem of the entire Okanagan in terms of structure, but in terms also of it's so supple, it's so generous. It's Similkameen terroir at its best, but also that takes me sometimes, when we're talking about super premium wines, there's always comps around the world that you always refer to. Me, this is Bulgari. This is that super Tuscan type who comes up in my mind when I taste that, and it gets me so excited. So let's talk about the reserve here, because the estate reserve is not the signature. Lots of people know Clos du Soleil for the flagship signature, but this one is the step above. I don't like to see step above. It's the even lesser available, let's put it that way, small production. And do you do estate reserve every year, or it's only reserved for a specific vintage?
Yeah, so first of all the ways that you described our estate reserve are great. I take it as a big compliment, the Bulgari comparison. So we have two flagship red wines at Clos du Soleil, our signature and our estate reserve. Signature comes from typically 3 different vineyards. They're all upper bench Similkameen, those very stony soils that we spoke about, and it's a blend of Bordeaux varieties. The estate reserve is a single vineyard wine, so it also is a blend of Bordeaux varieties, but it comes just from our estate vineyard, which is the property I'm standing on right now. It's our oldest vineyard with the oldest vines. Because it's a single vineyard wine, it's also made in much smaller quantities than signature, as you spoke about. This was a wine that I'd really wanted to be included in your club shipment, as you and I had discussed, because I really thought it was something special, such a great vintage too. So I was really excited to share it with your club members.
And we thought that something that really attracted me on that wine is it's Cabernet Sauvignon dominant, right? So when we talk the Similkameen, that's, to my opinion, Cab Sauv shines so bright in the Similkameen, and to have that wine to prove the superb quality of Cabernet Sauvignon in your region, that's what we're talking about here.
Yeah, it's everything you and I were talking about, the uniqueness of how Cabernet Sauvignon expresses itself here. I'll also say that the estate reserve, like Signature, like many of our wines here at Clos du Soleil, are all wild ferment. That's part of our minimal interventionist philosophy here. They're also totally unfined and unfiltered in every way. It's this idea of giving this really pure expression of the wine, pure expression of the land to the consumer.
Michael, we're talking about specific characteristic earlier, and I just got this wine's been open for half an hour now, and I just got my nose in there. We talk about pencil lead. I feel like if I'm the elementary school right now, and I just went to that, that little thing that I can smell my pencil right here.
Yeah, no, it's amazing. It is such a marker of the terroir. It's not coming from just one grape variety. It just shows up in all the reds from this valley that are well made.
Okay, for the sweet tooth here, we don't talk a lot about ice wine or late harvest or whatever, like a little bit on the dessert side, but you were kind enough to get us a little bit of a quantity of your 100% Sauvignon Blanc Saturn. This is the Bordeaux style Sauterne, if I may. I know it's it's different, but I mean that the image of what you guys are, Bordeaux varietals across the board. I mean, this is such a beautiful reflection of a late harvest wine.
Yeah, thank you. I love Saturn. It takes a lot of work for me and the team here to produce, but it is such a treasure. So as you mentioned, it's 100% Sauvignon Blanc. It's typically harvested in late November, early December on average. By that point, the berries have shriveled and you've got concentrated sugars, you've got concentrated flavors and aromas, and perhaps most importantly, you've concentrated acidity, because it's that really bright acidity that balances out the sweetness, so that while it is a rich, sweet dessert wine, it finishes clean. It finishes with your mouth watering a little, which brings you back to the glass to have a second sip, a third sip, or a second glass, a third glass. That's that balance that to me is so important for dessert wines.
It is surely more than important. I think it's critical to deliver a balanced wine. And when it doesn't sit there and becomes heavy pretty quickly, this wine is dancing. I mean, my mouth is watering, and there's not a best grape varietal than Sauvignon Blanc to provide that bright and nice acidity to counterbalance the sweetness of the late harvest. Do you have a ballpark number on residual sugar? Because I think it's always a very fun conversation to have. Some people are so scared of the RS number, but when you have a bright, sky-high acidity to counterbalance that, that's what makes it just beautifully balanced.
Yeah, absolutely. Everything you say is so true. In terms of the residual sugar on Saturn, I'm working from memory, but I believe it's around 90 grams per liter.
There you go.
It's that really bright acidity that balances out, and what comes across isn't something super sweet per se. It's this really intense fruit flavors and aromas. You get passion fruit and candied orange peel, maybe candied lime peel a little bit, and guava. It's delicious. Pairs so well with so many desserts. Pairs well with fresh fruit as well. Of course, will pair well with cheeses, and awesome by itself.
I mean, yeah, I don't mind to have that on its own as well. Just as you discover so many layers, and I think passion fruit just really came to mind quickly, like passion fruit. But there's orange blossom, there's blood orange, candied lemon. There's so much, and there's also that straw. Like a little bit of like when you draw, you're drying straws or like something like that, like a little bit of that earthiness. That's what I'm looking for. There's a sense of earthiness in there, and that leads me to the terroir as well. Nice tartness on the back end, really clamp down the finish. That's really beautiful. I love it.
Thank you. I'm glad you like it.
Now, thank you so much, Michael. I know you have a really busy week. There's action around you, and I'm really grateful for you spending half an hour with me talking about the Clos du Soleil, the Simil Camine, and the lovely, beautiful, world-class lineup that we have. And we're also going to have a beautiful Magnum available as well, which is a 2018 vintage, not available anywhere. You pull that out just for us, not on the website. Like it's one has been tucked in the Clos du Soleil cellar for a down the road project, but you're dusting off a few of them for us for the holiday season that I'm really grateful for. This wine had very high accolade in the past, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes. Yeah, it was a medal winner and 92 points from Decanter Magazine and the Decanter World Wine Awards a number of years ago. And you're right, very small quantity tucked away in our wine library. But, you know, the reason that I and everybody else here at Clos du Soleil make wines is because of the joy of sharing them. And so the fact that I could share some of these special things, whether it's the Magnum or Béton or the Estate Reserve or Saturn with your club members is the whole reason that we make wine here. So it's
thank you. We are grateful across the country. We're glad to have you part of our beautiful community of wine lover. And Michael, thank you so very much for joining me. And we'll be chatting very soon.
Thank you, Carl. Always nice to
see
you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
Cool. I really like that interview. It's awesome. It was really cool. Michael's awesome. The wines are fantastic. And I'm glad that all of our wine lovers across the country can learn a little bit more and hear more about the Simil Camine Valley. They're very unique and special terroir and the unique profile of their wines. And that's why the scores are high. I have a very high opinion of the Simil Camine, and especially Clos du Soleil. I appreciate a lot what they do. So, yeah, I'm super thrilled. I mean, there's such a small amount of wineries in the Simil Camine. So, I mean, to go get the big player, the one who started the whole thing in the Simil Camine, to have them with us in the club right there, it's awesome. And Michael's fantastic. Syrah, the Béton. These are two very special. Hey, you like rosé? I mean, the rosé from Sangiovese, it's pretty darn cool too. I mean, awesome Sangiovese rosé will be paired perfectly on the dinner table at Christmas. This is a great option too. So great lineup. We mentioned in the interview, the Saturn. You had a little sweet tooth. She likes a little bit of a sweet. And
I have it here actually. And what I love about late harvest, especially during the holidays, import style wines too, and ice wine for that matter. But I love it because you can open it, you can have just a little bit, you know, at the end of your meal or something, and then it lasts for weeks and weeks in the fridge. So
you're right. You're bang on. Absolutely. I love that.
In fact, I ordered some Madagascar vanilla the other day, because I have started making lemon posset and
which is freaking terrific, by the way.
Creme brulee. They're so easy to make. I didn't realize, you know, and so you make those up and you can keep them in the fridge all week and have it when you feel like a nice treat with your coffee or with your late harvest Sauv Blanc or with your, you know, if you have a little bit of port wine. So. Ooh, Daryl, guess number one. He's starting to guess about the Advent calendar. I love it. Our Coast to Coast Advent calendar starting December 14th. You can join just to watch us open bottles and do live prize draws every night for 2 weeks. For 12 days. But you can also still get the actual wines.
Yes.
All wrapped beautifully, and they're labeled with numbers, and you can surprise open them every night with us.
There's what, 4 or 5 left available? That's gonna we're missing it. 4 or 5 left. So I mean, there's a few left. Get yours. I enjoyed the experience last year a lot, but when I look at the lineup last year and the lineup this year, I'm like, Holy smokes! We have dug deep into people's cellar for like library releases all over the place, but also some very, very tiny production of some unicorn wine, some pre-releases. So really cool. I'm super thrilled. Heavy on red, heavy on big reds, I have to say this year. I just realized I didn't go. I remember last year when I got my head was wrapped about all wine region. I wanted wines from everywhere. This year is a little different. I went for the big dogs. I went for the high scores. I went for wines that are rare. So that was my mindset this year. And I'm super thrilled. I hope that people will enjoy, but we have, a pretty darn cool.
And here's the fun thing. Okay. You don't have to like literally open the wine every single night for 12 days. Right. So what a lot of people did last year though, is that they opened it and saw what it is, and then you learn about it. You can take some notes. You'll always have that video to look back on when you actually open the bottle. But then if you want to be decadent and you want to invite friends over here and there and things like that, then it is fun to open one every night for 12 days. It just sure puts you in a very fun holiday spirit, and it's a great treat.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So the first hint we had here, it's a BC Red, 100% Cab Sauv, 95 points, 2015 vintage.
Yeah, and Daryl guessed Hester Creek Cab Sauv, and I can say it's not Hester Creek Cab Sauv. I can say I don't think anyone is going to guess this.
Yeah.
It was as much a surprise for us to get access to this as anyone. So I don't think anyone's going to guess it, but we can't give out too many more hints either. So.
And looking at the price point, I didn't thought I could afford to put that in there, but we did anyway.
It's what, 105 plus tax.
Yeah.
Normally. So I'm pretty sure when you get it in the calendar, you're going to get it for quite a bit less than that.
Holy smokes. That's what blew my budget out. So that's what blew my budget away. So anyway, I don't care because what we're putting out there is so incredible. I'm so excited for December 14th. I mean, it's really cool. I'm really thrilled. So yeah, let your friend knows, man. If someone wants to do it, there's a few left, and let's get to it because I'm so thrilled to start that again this year. Hey,
so whether you have the wines to open in front of you or not, it's still pretty fun to find out what each wine is. We'll drop hints. We'll let you guess. We'll have prizes. It'll be fun. That's the 2015?
Nope.
That's the South Clos?
Nope.
What is it? The Magnum.
That's the Magnum. Let's show the bottle again. If people just join us, we have a super rare Magnum from the 2018 signature Clos du Soleil available this week. This wine is dancing. The acid is bright. The wine has energy. The fruit is ripe because 2018 was hot vintage, ripe fruit, spice, that stony minerality, that signature is freaking dancing. I don't know about your glass, but my glass is gone.
It is just starting to open up for me. Like this is a different wine than it was an hour ago. It's awesome.
Yeah, it's really awesome.
Is the Checkmate Chardonnay.
The red wine.
No, the Checkmate Chardonnay. He's asking about the Checkmate Chardonnay. There's no Checkmate, I think, in this one. Sorry, Daryl.
You know,
but
I promise myself that neither myself or my succession will do business with Mark Anthony.
So there with that brand.
I have a grudge, an old grudge sometimes, and this one is deep inside of me. I haven't forgot that one.
There's been a few incidents, but it's great wine. I mean, Checkmate.
Yeah. Oh, I'm not saying that they don't have great wine, and I have a pleasure to. I went to buy a bottle of their Oculus. I just don't want to share my business with them. We don't align on values, and I don't want to do that.
There you go. But there is Chardonnay in that. Is there? I don't know.
Oh, they're sure. Come on. A selection of 12 wines across the country, and someone thinks I won't have a Chardonnay? I had to hold myself. I was thinking of putting 3 Chardonnay, but no, there's not even 2. There's only 1. One Chardonnay. Of course, there's a Chardonnay.
I probably have seen the Chardonnay, but I don't remember. This is why I'm like the best for blind tasting, because I won't even remember.
Oh yeah, absolutely. You're awesome on that. 10 minutes later, you don't have a clue what's happening.
I'm blind tasting me, and
you're blind tasting yourself.
I don't know.
I love it. Hey, showcase the big thing.
There you go. Belle Touk. You've had 2 comments about your toque today, Carl.
Did I?
Yeah. So the
Sherbrooke represent. I mean, this is not my alma mater. I went to Laval, but I support the family, right? My brother is the coach at the Varéor at Sherbrooke University. So go Varéor.
Very nice. Well, it was so great to see you guys. So much fun. We will be back for Wine Wednesday next week. We might be live again a little bit more in the next week in the VIP group to share some fun things, because coming very soon, we're launching the cellar cache that we've been teasing you guys about forever. And so wines, great wines in Canada, they don't really go on sale. I got to tell you, they don't. The margins for great wines in Canada are very slim. Why? Because we pay people good, decent living wages to work the grapes and make these wines. And we have to pay like everything else that happens in BC and Ontario. That's fairly pricey, compared to many other wine regions, the land, the taxes, the whatever else. So yeah, Canadian wines, the really good ones, don't ever really go on big sales. But we would love to offer some loyalty bonuses for all you amazing members. We were doing some math, and the average VIP member spends like thousands of dollars on wine through the club a year, which is crazy and amazing. And we want to reward that loyalty. So we're going to be launching Cellar Cash very soon as part of the festivities this time of year. And there will be chances to win prizes and spin the wheel and things like that. Hockey coach, what's that about? Probably something we were talking about 2 minutes ago. Oh, Carl, you drank no wine. What does this mean?
Coach, no, not hockey. No, but I'm a hockey coach, but this is not with the This is a football program. That's the football program at Sherbrooke. I coach hockey in Summerland on the West Coast. A little different, but his
brother's a professional football coach. Yeah.
Professional university level. Yeah.
That's what he does for a living. That's what he's done for. What?
Oh, yeah. For 15, 20 years now. Oh, 20 years, it might be a little too much. He might hate me if he hear me say that. But maybe at least 15 years with the program at Sherbrooke University as a defensive coordinator and assistant head coach. So, coaching can be a career unless you own a wine club and you're just coaching the youth here in your little village and having fun, taking them on the tournament across.
Bringing wine to the tournament.
Yeah, exactly. Right. Exactly. I think showcase the big thing. Showcase the big thing before we go.
The big thing.
The big thing.
The big thing. So
because size does matter, right?
It's a very big bottle. I don't have too many regular bottles, but yeah, like I was saying, it feels like a Magnum. Like it's a massive. Like look at it compared to the wine glass.
That's my bottle here. Right?
Yeah, so you see it looks way more dinky compared to my big one here. Like, yeah. So that's the beauty. I mean, it ages really well. The 2018 is just like singing right now.
Oh my God, it's so good.
You know what would be fun is to taste the same vintage, the same wine, Magnum and regular bottle. Like see how they aged.
Can do that.
Because they always say that Magnums age better. So we should find a winery that made like a regular bottle, a 1.5 liter, a 3 liter, and then like a 5 liter. And, you know, if they have bigger than that, I mean, they're going to be my new best friends. And we should open them all. Of course, we're going to have some of you guys over because you can't just open those all and take one sip out of every one. And then it'd be really interesting to see, like, what is it actually like? Because we always hear Magnums age better because they're bigger volumes. So it's slower oxidation and they get more layers and complexity. But let's actually try it out with Canadian wine.
I mean, we don't have the 18 signature, but you can see, like, I mean, like how fresh that 2018 is. I mean, this is pretty cool to taste. Really freaking cool. So,
cool. And you said 93 plus on the Mira books. It's probably a bit higher than that. And it's very delicious. So we're very
delicious. So we also have the Closson Chase Zoom tasting link who just came out. I think we're already halfway through the 3-packs. We just got so half of the 3-packs are already gone because we only have 6 available, 12 available total. Now it's got slashed to half of it. Get it in soon. And yeah, Clos du Soleil week. Next week we have a break, and after that we're gonna feature some of the really cool. Where is that guy? This is a really upcoming rock star, absolute superstar of micro winemaking, a Thomas Batchelder in the making, I would say. Real same style, sourcing small plot of wine across Ontario. Adam Kern with Kern & Co. coming up in a couple weeks. I'm really freaking.
Okay, I have to mention something and then read Dylan's comment too. So I love these big bottles. Love the big bottles. So like nothing spells party more than like a big bottle, a Magnum. But I love the little bottles because they're so cute, and you could do like a fun tasting side by side. And we have 5 little bottles, half-size bottles from Kern & Co. And that is also very rare to have premium wine in half-size bottles. Like you can sometimes get like cheap wine in half-size bottles on like airplanes and stuff. But to find really nice premium reds in half-size bottles, that's really rare. And I think it's really cool. And it makes great gifts, because if you don't want to gift somebody an $80 bottle of wine or a $60 bottle of wine, you gift them the half-size bottle. It's half the price, and they still get to taste something really beautiful and premium. And honestly, for like single people, for just like couples on their own, you know, tasting something with dinner, having 2 half-size bottles open and tasting both side by side with dinner, and you know, I think that's fabulous. So there you go. Dylan saying, one of my favorite wineries, Clos du Soleil. If I was told I could only get wine from 3 wineries, Clos du Soleil winery would be one of them. I had one of my most favorite tastings over there with all the reds. You could tell they were brothers. Magnificent. Yes, I totally agree.
You got it. Totally. I think Dylan just had the definition of terroir, right? All of those red has to be brothers. This is the perfect way to describe terroir. You know they're from the same place. And terroir is the definition of place and people. I mean, this, Dylan, you just freaking, you give me goosebumps, man. You just defined terroir in such an approachable way. I love it, man. I love it. Thank you so much. I'm going to use that moving forward. Yeah, that's it. That's his terroir, man. That's what this is. These reds, they don't taste the same. But, man, that you know that they're connected. What they're connected by? They're connected by the soil, by the sun, by the wind, by the elements around them. That's what they're connected with. That is amazing. I freaking love it. Canadian wine lovers, Carl's Wine Club members, Mira Boucher, everyone across the country. See you next time.